Guilty. This is the story of obviously our dear Hunter Biden versus Donald Trump. You know what I mean? Here you have two different scenarios, and some people are using this moment to validate, see the system works, right?
No
Justice
one is
being,
above the law.
or yeah, I guess you know what I mean. And so some of the people are saying this is just a distraction. You know what I mean? They want to again use it as a valid argument. What is your take coming from different places?
This is bull.
Okay.
And then this is.
Okay.
It's not a bull of a valid
Okay.
opinion.
Well, how do you see it? I mean, I mean, listen, you look at the two scenarios, right? And you're saying, okay, so can this really be used for the validation argument? Hey, the system works.
Absolutely not. What do you mean? Like Donald Trump got found guilty of. Still, we cannot pinpoint what the heck he's guilty of, but he's guilty of it.
Yes.
Okay, on all 34 counts unanimously.
Okay.
And the other guy is like nothing related to like this trial is just a freaking farce. Is that the right word
Let's
to
not
say?
get distracted by the details. You know what I mean? Don't let your lying eyes, you know what I mean, highlight the fact that, you know, he was buying a gun when he was not supposed to. There was cocaine residue on the gun. There was he lied on the application, which is a federal crime. I mean, let's not go through those, you know, but there's a guilty thing.
No,
right?
no, no. So what about?
Okay.
Hang on. So here is the thing. It's like, what about doing business? Not saying that your father is involved doing business with other foreign nations. A ton of money going to Ukraine. That paint that we cannot figure out how much it's worth by he painted. All of this, all of these actual things that is like, bro. And he gets on a gun charge? Like,
They
come
never
on.
even got to it, and I hate to tell you this, they won't even get to that. They're not going to get to the IRS issues because they let the statute of limitation run out, and they definitely not going to talk about.
So that's
any
the
of
thing.
other
The statute of limitation ran out on this guy, but not on this guy. 15 years later, or whatever it is. Like,
Depends
that's not
on the
15
crime.
years
It depends
later,
on the
but
crime. There's
It is
different. There's different limitations
It is
for
still
different crimes.
accounting with the IRS. I don't understand.
You know what I think it is though? I don't know if it depends on the crime. I think it depends on the criminal.
That
Yeah.
too,
Right.
absolutely,
It
100%.
depends
So
on-
for me, I would say I want to see what it's gonna like be after the fact. So what is both individuals gonna be sentenced with? Because that makes a big difference to determining is the system actually playing fair. I mean, obviously it's already not fair. We know this, but what I will see more of is okay. Two people will be both found guilty for the same exact thing. One goes to jail for a week, the other one goes to jail for life, where that's a bigger, I think, issue as far as this is not
So
correct.
hang on.
Yeah.
So you don't have a problem with what actually
No,
being
I do.
prosecuted?
I do.
Because that's where I'm like, what
I
is-
have a problem with
how?
that. But what I'm
Like-
saying is a bigger problem would be the actual sentencing if it's too lenient or too harsh for the same crime, depending on what it may be. Because I don't care what you say I'm guilty of. If all it equals is a slap on the
I
wrist,
say this guy
that's
was
not a
under
big-
the
yeah, yeah.
influence. He didn't know what he was doing.
you know.
Well, I mean,
So
but-
that's what I want.
Drop the
That's what I want to see.
The overall understanding here is like, listen, there's a political component obviously connected, and the fact of the matter is, you're looking at a scenario where Donald Trump, for all intended purposes, most people actually develop additional sympathy for this man because they don't feel that that was
Yeah.
the right thing to do. However,
Yeah.
and before I even say this, for so many years, right, one of the things that Joe Biden is always projecting is the concerned father who is proud of his son for fighting back into, well, at the same time, he's basically his own son is almost accusing him of pimping him. You know what I mean? Like, listen, I got to find a way to make money for my father. Those are some underlying statements, and some of them almost quote Barbaden. You know what I mean? And so, one of the things, couple of things to keep in mind, right? This is being suggested as obviously a big distraction. Second of all, a fall guy. You know what I mean? Everybody was always suggesting this is the guy who all along at some point, if we need a fall guy, not only that you have the perfect fall guy because you have a reason for it, there's so many things. I mean, there's a laundry list of things that they could have gone after this young man if they wanted to. But in addition to that, he actually has the ability to do two things. You know what I mean? One of them is somehow you try to validate that the criminal system is working, and again, nobody's above the law. Remember that. And then the second thing is, you still have the ability to try to generate a little bit of sympathy for the benefit of Joe Biden. This is like the perfect scenario. It's like, it's working.
I'm not buying it.
You're not
No,
buying
it's
it?
bullshit.
No, you know?
It's
No
like, I
sympathy
can't-
for the guy?
No, there's zero sympathy.
So you're more on the side
It's
that
like-
he is pimping his son, essentially.
It's
That's it.
like, look, listen, what they're doing right now is the equivalent of somebody stole a lollipop
Got
and
it.
in the process killed somebody.
Got
But
it.
they're gonna be like, we are not gonna go after him for killing the person. We're just gonna go after the fact that he stole the lollipop.
Correct.
Got it.
Correct.
That is literally what's happening. And if you don't see it that way, I don't I don't get it.
I think Hunter is.
This
a
is the
gangster.
highest
Huh?
level of
I
corruption
don't think he's
at
being
work.
pimped. I think he is a pimp. I think he's a gangster. I think he knows what he's doing on so many levels. I'm not mad at him because if my dad was the president, I would probably be 1,000 times worse
the
than
time
he
that he
was.
was the senator,
Yeah,
the vice
correct.
president.
Yeah.
But his
So-
father is
so-
also like,
so we
like,
can
bro,
legally-
let's go. Like,
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, I'm not gonna not give him credit where he deserves his credit.
We can literally argue who's pimping who. Is that
Correct,
what you're
correct.
saying?
That's what I'm
It's like-
saying. I think he's
like it's
grown.
a
He knows
matter
what
of
he's doing.
opinion.
Yeah,
All
100%.
right. Listen, fair enough. All I'm saying is that it appears to me that what they try to do with this argument of equal law for all
not the
is really nowhere near. And if that's what they were hoping to accomplish with this, it's not even close.
Mm-hmm.
And the idea that it's going to somewhere somehow generate sympathy, right? The same way that you have seen that taking place with Donald Trump, right? It's going through the process, and you have people that literally said, "I never voted for this guy. I don't even like this guy. I just don't like what happened here." You know what I mean? It's just not right. You can see how wrong the whole situation happens to be. But